Today is Friday, November 28th, 2025, and this is Read Through the Bible.
Yep. And, sometimes people have different names, right? Can you think of examples of that? Like
Bill and William?
Yeah. Or some others?
Or Robert and Bob?
Yeah. Or Tom and Tommy. And we're going to face some people here with some different names. If y'all remember yesterday, even you, as you read about Abijam.
At the end of chapter 14.
Yeah, you call him what?
Abijah.
Right. Because our song says, Rehoboam, Abijah, Asa.
Yeah.
But that's just very common in terms of different spellings of different names. And like we called people by different things. And it's just natural for human beings to do that. And so just know that even that happens in the scriptures.
So that adds to the complexity here where you've got Israel in the north, Judah in the south. And so you've got those being mixed together in these chapters. And then sometimes when the kings are referred to, they're referred to as Abijam, and then later it's referred to as Abijah, and it's the same guy, two different names.
Yeah, and sometimes it's this, it's Bill and William. Like sometimes it's really far off.
Like Uzziah and
Azariah. Anyway, we're going to be reading today in 1 Kings 15 and 16.
So, and we'd like to try at the beginning of each chapter to tell you which nation or nations are involved in that chapter. So in 15, it's mostly about Judah until verse 25, where then it's about Israel.
Yep. Okay. In the north.
Yes, Judah in the south, Israel in the north. 15 verse 1. Now in the 18th year of King Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, Abijam began to reign over Judah. He reigned for 3 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Abishalom.
And Abishalom's other name was?
Actually is Absalom.
Yep.
So, verse 3. And he walked in all the sins that his father did before him, and his heart was not wholly true to the Lord his God, as the heart of David his father. Nevertheless, for David's sake, the Lord gave him a lamp in Jerusalem, setting up his son after him and establishing Jerusalem, because David did what was right in the eyes of the Lord and did not turn aside from anything that he commanded him all the days of his life, except in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. Now, there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of his life. The rest of the acts of Abijam and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? And there was war between Abijam and Jeroboam, so Abijam in Judah in the south, Jeroboam in Israel in the north. And Abijam slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David, and Asa his son reigned in his place.
So we're continuing to read about Judah in the south. So it went Rehoboam, Abijam, and now Asa. In the 20th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, Asa began to reign over Judah. And he reigned 41 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Abishalom. And Asa did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, as David his father had done. So here we see some light. We see someone doing good. He put away the male cult prostitutes out of the land and removed all the idols that his father had made. He also removed Maacah, his mother, from being queen mother because she had made an abominable image for Asherah. And Asa cut down her image and burned it at the brook Kidron. But the high places were not taken away. Nevertheless, the heart of Asa was wholly true to the Lord all his days, and he brought into the house of the Lord the sacred gifts of his father and his own sacred gifts, silver and gold and vessels.
And there was war between Asa and Baasha, king of Israel, all their days. Baasha, king of Israel, went up against Judah and built Ramah, that he might permit no one to go out or come in to Asa, king of Judah. Then Asa took all the silver and the gold that were left in the treasures of the house of the Lord and the treasures of the king's house, and gave them into the hands of his servants. And King Asa sent them to Ben-Hadad, the son of Tabrimmon, the son of Hezion, king of Syria, who lived in Damascus, saying, Let there be a covenant between me and you, as there was between my father and your father. Behold, I am sending to you a present of silver and gold. Go, break your covenant with Baasha, king of Israel, that he may withdraw from me. And
So you got to catch right here. Asa in Judah is scared of Baasha in Israel in the north. And so he goes around Baasha, go further north up to Syria, and he says, let's make this covenant. So like he's becoming friends with Syria.
He needs an ally.
Yes, he sure does.
To defend himself against Israel. Okay, verse 20. And Ben-Hadad listened to King Asa and sent the commanders of his army against the cities of Israel and conquered Ijon, Dan, Abel-Beth-Maacah, and all Chinneroth, with all the land of Naphtali. Chinneroth is the land of Galilee,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
21. And when Baasha heard of it, that's king of Israel, he stopped building Ramah, and he lived in Tirzah. Then King Asa made a proclamation to all Judah. None was exempt. And they carried away the stones of Ramah and its timber with which Baasha had been building, and with them King Asa built Geba of Benjamin and Mizpah.
So, like, Baasha was distracted. He has got to fight Syria, Ben-Hadad in the north, and in his distraction, he abandoned this place, Ramah. And so Asa comes in and takes over all the building supplies in Ramah.
Mm-hmm. Now the rest of the acts of Asa, all his might, and all that he did, and the cities that he built, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? But in his old age he was diseased in his feet. And Asa slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David his father, and Jehoshaphat his son reigned in his place.
Okay, so that was Judah in the south, and now in verse 25 we're switching now to the north. And it went Jeroboam, and then the son of Jeroboam was Nadab. And we're going to see Nadab and his line wiped out, according to the prophecy of old Ahijah.
And so this backs up a little bit in the timeline from where we left off in verse 24. We've got to back up and pick up the next king.
Yep. Nadab, the son of Jeroboam, began to reign over Israel in the 2nd year of Asa, king of Judah. And he reigned over Israel 2 years, and he did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the way of his father, and in his sin, in which he made Israel to sin.
Baasha, the son of Ahijah, of the house of Issachar, conspired against him, and Baasha struck him down at Gibbethon, which belonged to the Philistines. For Nadab and all Israel were laying siege to Gibbethon. So Baasha killed him in the 3rd year of Asa, king of Judah, and reigned in his place. So starting a new dynasty.
Yep.
And as soon as he was king, he killed all the house of Jeroboam. He left to the house of Jeroboam not one that breathed until he had destroyed it, according to the word of the Lord that he spoke by his servant Ahijah the Shilonite. For it was for the sins of Jeroboam that he sinned, and that he made Israel to sin, and because of the anger to which he provoked the Lord, the God of Israel.
And you remember Ahijah had prophesied that Jeroboam's family would be cut off, and indeed it was. Now the rest of the acts of Nadab and all that he did, are they not written in the books of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? And there was war between Asa and Baasha, the king of Israel, all their days.
Okay, verse 33. In the 3rd year of King Asa, king of Judah, Baasha, the son of Ahijah, began to reign over all Israel at Tirzah, and he reigned 24 years. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the way of Jeroboam, and in his sin, which he made Israel to sin.
Okay, so like in terms of a summary of this chapter, you might just even write down the names of the kings. Mm-hmm. So we have Judah, the kings in Judah are Abijam, who was parentheses bad, and Asa, who was good. Parentheses good. Uh-huh. And then we had the kings of Israel, who were Nadab, and then Baasha rose up, killed Nadab, and eliminated Jeroboam's line. Mm-hmm. And so, by the way,
bad.
Yeah, in Judah, there are good kings and there are bad kings, and in Israel in the north, all the kings are bad. Mm-hmm. Okay, chapter 16, verse 1, and the word of the Lord came to Jehu, and we're going to be Israel the whole rest of this chapter, so Israel in the north. And the word of the Lord came to Jehu, the son of Hanani, against Baasha, saying, Since I exalted you out of the dust and made you leader over my people Israel, you have walked in the ways of Jeroboam, and have made my people Israel to sin, provoking me to anger with their sins. Behold, I will utterly sweep away Baasha and his house, and I'll make your house like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. In other words, I'm going to destroy your dynasty. Mm-hmm. You're not going to have a dynasty either. Anyone belonging to Baasha who dies in the city, the dog shall eat, and anyone who dies in the field, the birds of the heaven shall eat. Just like happened to Jeroboam.
Same thing, yeah, not an honorable burial. Verse 5, Now the rest of the acts of Baasha and what he did and his might, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? And Baasha slept with his fathers and was buried at Tirzah, and Elah, his son, reigned in his place. Moreover, the word of the Lord came by the prophet Jehu, the son of Hanani, against Baasha and his house, because of all the evil that he did in the sight of the Lord, provoking him to anger with the work of his hands, in being like the house of Jeroboam, and also because he destroyed it.
In the 26th year of Asa, king of Judah, kind of giving you a time frame with reference to what's happening in Judah, but this is Israel still. Elah, the son of Baasha, began to reign over Israel in Tirzah, and he reigned 2 years. But his servant Zimri, commander of half his chariots, conspired against him, military coup, and he was at Tirzah, drinking himself drunk in the house of Azra, who was over the household in Tirzah. And Zimri came in and struck him down and killed him in the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah, and reigned in his place.
So another dynasty wiped out.
Zimri's going to do that in verse 12. Go ahead, verse 11.
Verse 11, when he began to reign, as soon as he had seated himself on the throne, he struck down all the house of Baasha. He did not leave him a single male of his relatives or his friends. Thus Zimri destroyed all the house of Baasha, according to the word of the Lord which he spoke against Baasha by Jehu the prophet. For all the sins of Baasha and the sins of Elah his son, which they had sinned, and which they made Israel to sin, provoking the Lord, God of Israel, to anger with their idols. Now the rest of the acts of Elah and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel?
Okay, so we see now another king arise, Zimri. In verse 15, in the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah, Zimri reigned 7 days.
7 days.
Yep. Now the troops were encamped against Gibeathon, which belonged to the Philistines, and the troops who were encamped heard it, said, Zimri has conspired, and he has killed the king. Therefore all Israel made Omri, the commander of the army, king over Israel in that day in the camp. So you just see how violent and chaotic this is. Like
And
the king raised
unstable.
up, unstable. So Omri went up from Gibeathon, and all Israel with him, and they besieged Tirzah. And when Zimri saw that the city was taken, he went into the citadel of the king's house and burned the king's house over him with fire and died, because of the sins that he committed doing evil in the sight of the Lord, walking in the way of Jeroboam, and for the sin which he committed, making Israel to sin. Now the rest of the acts of Zimri and the conspiracy that he made, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel?
Verse 21, then the people of Israel were divided into 2 parts. Half of the people followed Tibni, the son of Ginath, to make him king, and half followed Omri. But the people who followed Omri overcame the people who followed Tibni, the son of Ginath. So Tibni died, and Omri became king. In the 21st year of Asa, king of Judah...
And this, by the way, is another dynasty here.
Yes, right. Yeah. In the 21st year of Asa, king of Judah, Omri began to reign over Israel, and he reigned for 12 years. 6 years he reigned in Tirzah. He bought the hill of Samaria from Shemer for 2 talents of silver, and he fortified the hill and called the name of that city he built Samaria, after the name of Shemer, the owner of the hill. So this is where the capital of Israel switches from Tirzah to Samaria.
Yeah, we'll hear more about Samaria and less about Tirzah now. Omri did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and he did more evil than all who were before him, for he walked in the way of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. And Jeroboam was the first king of Israel, just bad through and through, and everyone he walked in his ways. In all the sins that he had made Israel to sin, provoking the Lord, the God of Israel, to anger by their idols. Now the rest of the acts of Omri that he did, and the might that he showed, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Omri slept with his fathers and was buried in Samaria, and Ahab his son reigned in his place.
Verse 29, in the 38th year of Asa, king of Judah, Ahab, the son of Omri, began to reign over Israel. And Ahab, the son of Omri, reigned over Israel in Samaria 22 years. And Ahab, the son of Omri, did evil in the sight of the Lord more than all who were before him. So things are just getting worse.
Worse and worse and worse.
And as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, he took for his wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal, king of the Sidonians, and went and served Baal and worshipped him. He erected an altar for Baal in the house of Baal, which he built in Samaria. And Ahab made an Asherah. Ahab did more to provoke the Lord, the God of Israel, to anger than all the kings of Israel who were before him. In his days, Hiel of Bethel built Jericho. He laid its foundation at the cost of Abiram, his firstborn, and set up its gates at the cost of his youngest son, Segub, according to the word of the Lord which he spoke by Joshua, the son of Nun. That's interesting. That's a curse that was placed on Jericho after it was destroyed by Joshua in Joshua 6, verse 26.
Yeah, it goes way back. Okay, so in terms of summarizing this chapter, there might not be anything better to do than just to list the names of the kings of Israel.
And it's all about Israel.
Yeah.
Chapter 16 is.
Yeah, Israel, the kings of Israel, Baasha, Elah, Zimri, Tibni, Omri, and Ahab.
We have a few dynasty changes in there.
Yeah, and you might remember some of the things about how Zimri reigned only 7 days.
The shortest reign.
Yeah, some things like that.
And Ahab and Jezebel are going to continue to be pretty prominent.
Yeah, so we're going to slow down a little bit. We sped up really fast. We're going to slow down. We're going to read a lot about Ahab, and Elijah's going to come on the scene. And we'll hit that on Monday after we read the Proverbs tomorrow. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.